Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hi friends, this is Arif Khan and today I am going to give you an overview of engineering activities and workflow and the sequence of piping and process design activities. As we all know, process is mother of engineering activities. So we shall first go through the process activities in brief, and after that we will discuss the piping design activities in detail. In today's video, I'll try to cover up the topics related to engineering workflow for brownfield and greenfield activities, types of projects like brownfield and greenfield, sequence of process design activities, sequence of piping design activities, piping engineering subgroups like layout group, material group, and then stress and support group, piping material engineering workflow and the deliverables, sequence of piping layout activities and the deliverables, 3D model review like 30%, 60% and 90%, and what is the difference between these percentages 30, 60 and 90. Then interdisciplinary coordination between piping and the mechanical, piping and the process, piping and electrical, piping and instrumentation, piping and civil, the information required from other discipline to piping and piping to the other disciplines. And after that we will discuss the standard piping deliverable related to piping layout, piping material and stress and support group. And at the end I'll give you the typical piping engineering organization chart for the feed and the detailed design. This video may have several parts due to the time constraints, so you may have to watch the complete information in different parts. Types of the projects. So there are basically two major types of the projects: brownfield projects and greenfield projects. The brownfield projects, the project going to be constructed on an existing facility for expansion of the existing facility or revamping of the existing facility is called the brownfield projects. In brownfield projects we have to do some demolition of the existing facility, and then after that we have to upgrade the existing facility. Why we need to go for brownfield projects? So when operation or maintenance team face technical problems during their day-to-day operation or maintenance activities which causes production loss and due to long time taking activities as compared to their normal operation or maintenance activities. In that case we need to go and we need to replace particular equipment based on the PCR or the maintenance operation team's MOC. When the design life of the plant or some specific equipment over which need to be replaced, then operation team identify those equipment or the component and initiate the MOC, management of change, or the PCR, the plant change request. Secondly, the modification or upgradation to enhance the production or the plant capacity of the existing facility. So any modification or upgradation in the existing facility will lead us to brownfield projects. So these are the three major reasons that's why we have to go for brownfield projects. Greenfield project, when the project starts from scratch or zero with no existing facility, with no demolition scope, that is called the greenfield project. A new oil and gas facility or the power plants which are built from scratch on greenfield lands. These projects are constructed on unused land where there is no need to demolish an existing facility, like new factories, new refinery which are built from scratch are called the greenfield project. Brownfield projects activities: management of change or plant change request, MOC or PCR. In different companies the different terminologies are used. Some companies used management of change or some companies are used plant change request, PCR. So operation maintenance team raised the MOC and or the PCR to technical engineering department to further investigate and provide some valuable solution to avoid the production loss or to reduce the maintenance or operation time related to that specific equipment. This is called the MOC or the plant change request or management of change request. When we received the management change request from the operation team, after that engineering team visits the site to investigate the problem and finally to prepare an investigation report. Final investigation report will have the feedback from all the disciplines. When investigation report finished, further action will be required from the higher management. After completion of the investigation report, the cost engineer perform the costing, that how much budget will be required to modify the plant or this change in the existing plant. Finally, with the combination of technical report and the cost estimation, the financial proposal shall be prepared for higher management or for their approval. When this financial proposal approved, the engineering team prepared the TOR, those are called the term of reference for conceptual design. After finalization of the TOR or conceptual design, the project is floated for the feed through technical and commercial bid evaluation. After this technical and commercial evaluation of the bids, the project will be floated for the FEED design. After the FEED design, there will be a last stage of the project, that is called the EPC phase of the project. Sequence of process design activities. Process engineering main deliverables are part of the FEED, while rest all the disciplines deliverables are part of the detailed engineering design except piping. Like, as we know that the process is mother of engineering, so all the design related to process normally freeze during the FEED stage of the project, and the other disciplines they started their deliverables in second phase of the project, except piping, because the plot plan need to be freeze during the FEED stage of the project. During FEED, normally the main deliverable of process has been freezed, while all other disciplines starts their work or their deliverable mainly in EPC phase of the project. This is basically happen in small scale projects, while in large scale projects during FEED most of the disciplines are involved to freeze their basic design. In the conceptual stage of the project, concept of the project is freezed, and during the FEED normally the basic design of the project is freezed, and then there is a EPC phase of the project. This is related to greenfield project, where the project starts from the conceptual and the FEED stage, and after that there will be EPC stage. So during the FEED stage there are few things that client need to be specified in the TOR. For example, the engineering input that are related to the functional requirement of the plant. I mean, the first input is from the client, I mean the requirement, the capacity of the plant, the output specification of the plant performance, the thermal efficiency, the emission parameters, the power consumptions, and the standards and specification. Normally in engineering design basis document, information available are the process facilities, the performance of the each facilities, the infrastructure required inside the plant, and design criteria, the basis of design for each equipment, and then environmental data required for that particular land or for that particular country, and we get normally this environmental data from the meteorological department of that country, and after that the applicable codes and standards related to that particular client or the international standards. And at the end the process engineer performs the simulation to develop a process scheme for the process design activities, like which equipment is connected to which equipment, like process flow diagram, process simulation, process flow diagram, and heat and mass balance. At the end the hydraulic flow diagrams we'll discuss in next slide. Process simulation we already studied in a previous slide. The process engineer perform the simulation to have the sequence of the activities. Then after that the process flow diagram describes which equipment is connected to which equipment, and after that heat and mass balance identify the duty and the purpose of each equipment in the process system. It provides the design temperature and pressures, fluid composition like liquid or the gas, and its composition, and it provides the input to material selection report or material selection diagrams. And after the heat and mass balance on the basis of flow rates, oil, water or gas, the process engineer performs the sizing of the each equipment in the process plant. It gives the equipment dimensions, size of the each equipment like piping, valves, pumps and compressors, whatever is available in the piping system or the whole plant. And the process engineer provides the hydraulic calculations aimed to overcome the frictional losses in the piping and the equipment, and it will provide the correct operating conditions and the overall assistance in the control of the plant. And there is a study called the flow assurance. Normally it is in the offshore projects, not in the onshore. So in offshore projects, flow assurance is used to ensure that the hydrocarbon fluids are transmitted economically from the reservoir to the end user over the design life of the project in any environment. Then after that there are several studies in the process, so like hazard. During the FEED we have to perform the hazard, that is called the hazard identification, like the impact of the plant on the environment of that country, of that land, and the impact of the environment on the plant mean vice versa. After that, there is another study called the HAZOP study, and normally we perform this HAZOP study after the hazard in the EPC stage of the project. Like in HAZOP study, we have to identify all whatever the hazards are related to operability of the plant. And there is another study that is called the QRA. Quantitative risk analysis is a formal and the systematic risk analysis approach to quantify the risk associated with the operation of the engineering process. Then after that, there is another study that is called the SIL study, and the SIL is the abbreviation of safety integrity level. And normally this SIL study, our instrument engineers are involved in this SIL studies, and is also one of the safety studies which is carried out to prevent the hazard in the process industries. Generally, SIL studies is carried out after the HAZOP study is completed for a project. Then there is another study called LOPA, layer of protection analysis, helps the analyst make consistent decision on the adequacy of the existing or the proposed layer of protection against accident scenario. Sequence of process activities continued. So PNID is what is the PNID and what information it contained. So PNID contained mainly the information related to piping connectivity and the line sizes, piping classes, material information, types of the valves and the sizes, mechanical equipment dimensions, capacities, design, operation conditions, and then electrical equipment details, and then instrument sizes and control systems, and line numbers, rating and services. And the PNID will contain all these information, mainly all these information, but there are other information as well in the PNIDs.